Hi friends, when we are discussing about interference, in the previous sessions, when we looked at Newton's rings formation and the conditions for the formation of dark and bright fringes, we have seen the experimental process, theory related to that, and also we obtained the formulae for measuring the diameters of both dark and bright fringes, as diameter in the case of a bright fringe is proportional to square root of odd natural numbers, and diameter in the case of dark bright fringes as square root of odd natural numbers, and another is diameter is proportional to square root of natural numbers. So this is the dark condition, square root of natural numbers. This is the bright condition. Now with the help, where do we use this? That is the next question. Now using the diameters, we can find the wavelength of a light source. So with the help of diameter formulae, we can measure the wavelength of a light source by knowing the rings as well as, so along with the diameters, we need to know radius of curvature. Radius of curvature of the plano-convex lens we are using. With the help of these diameters and radius of curvature of plano-convex lens, we can measure or determine the wavelength of a light source. So how do we do that? There is a little bit of theory to be understood to find us. So let us discuss this theory. Let us say I have taken a plano-convex lens. For this plano-convex lens, radius of curvature I am taking as R. Now the light source whose wavelength is to be measured, with the help of this, let it be some lambda. Okay. So we have a number of rings being formed in Newton's rings formation. So therefore, let us take diameters of mth and nth rings. Let them be treated as dm and dn. We are only taking dark rings, remember. So dm and dn are the diameters of mth and nth dark rings. We have already seen, if these are considered as diameters of mth and nth dark rings, then from the known formula earlier, we can find d square m is equal to 4m lambda r and d square n is equal to 4n lambda r. These formulae we have obtained in the previous sessions. Now take the difference of these two. So from these two, if you want to calculate d square n minus d square m, that is equal to, take 4 common out, 4 into n minus m into lambda r. Okay. We want lambda, so therefore from this lambda is equal to, put it to the other side, right hand expression would be d square n minus d square m by 4 into n minus m into r. So this is the expression to be used for calculating the wavelength of a light source. So what are the variables? Diameter of the nth ring, diameter of the mth ring, radius of curvature. N and M are ring numbers. So by measuring these values and substituting in the right hand side of this expression, we can determine the wavelength of a formula. Clear? So with this, by knowing this derivation, having got this lambda as a formula, as an expression, now we will experimentally set up something and then find out the value of a lambda. Let us see the experiment. As told you earlier, we have to set up the Newton's rings experiment. I am just recapping. We kept a plano convex lens. The center point is, let us say, O. On the glass plate, we set up a plano convex lens. So this is the air film. This is plano convex lens. This is the glass plate. And here we assume that monochromatic light is coming like this. So we kept another glass plate at 45 degrees. Now the rays are incidenting on this. This is the angle I told you as 45 degrees. So what happens is the rays will be coming down and they get reflected. The reflected image can be seen in the microscope set up above. So this is what we call as microscope. Now we find fringes here. This is the experimental setup I have explained last time. So we are taking plano convex lens of large radius of curvature. Radius of curvature. That is made to be in contact with a plain glass plate. Incident light is made to fall at an angle of 45 degrees to this with the vertical. Then the light, reflected light, is falling on this. The light got reflected back is seen through microscope where you observe the Newton's rings. So to determine the wavelength of a light source from where the light rays are coming, we have to make this experimental setup which we have already seen. Now imagine that we are getting Newton's rings. So having formed Newton's rings, the steps to be remembered is we have to adjust the microscope. Adjust the microscope. How? Such that the center of the cross wires, you all know that in the microscope you have cross wires. So center of cross wires is at the central dark spot of the ring pattern. What does it mean? If you set up apparatus like this, then automatically you will have fringes forming like this. This is the dark spot and you will have white. This type of rings are formed, which I have already explained. Now you have to adjust your microscope such a way that the cross wire you see is kept here, is kept on this. So that is what it means by adjusting the microscope to the such that the cross wires coincide with the dark spot. Now move the microscope to extreme left of the pattern. That means your microscope is here. So by adjusting the screw, you can move the microscope eyepiece, microscope movement. Through eyepiece you are observing. So to the left of, that means this side you are moving. One time we will move in this side, the other time we will move in this side. So while moving, you have to count the number of rings. Suppose by the time crosswire comes here, it becomes 1. Again, when you are moving, by the time crosswire comes here, it becomes 2, it becomes 3. Like that, you are taking the number of the ring. So therefore, this is what it means by saying, move the microscope to the extreme of the pattern. Count the number of rings. How to place it? Very simple. Crosswire you can't place it like this. So crosswire should be tangentially kept. At each place you have to keep the crosswire tangentially. This is very, very important. So crosswire is to be tangentially kept at each ring and number of the ring is to be counted. In fact, you have an experiment in spectroscopy, you can do this. Count the number of rings. Crosswire is adjusted tangentially in the middle of nth ring. What is this nth ring? Approximately 21st ring. That means keep the crosswire here tangentially. Go on adjusting the screw of the microscope. You can observe the crosswire moving. Go on counting. So it is moving like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. You can go up to 21st ring. Almost at the outermost ring you will get. So you go up to 21st ring. That is what is meant by this. So you go up to 21st ring. 21st dark ring. So like that you are going. So from here, from the center of the spot, crosswire is tangentially kept. By counting the number of the rings, 1, 2, 3, like that, you go up to 21st ring. So when you are moving like this, you can observe the change in the reading of the microscope. So the reading of the microscope is to be noted after. When you are moving, reading will be changing. So go up to 21st ring and there you observe, note down the microscope reading. So having reached 21st reading, note the microscope reading. Right. Now move the microscope to the right side and note readings successively. Very simple. How to understand this? Let me explain. See the formula. We want to calculate lambda, na? What we want basically, well, radius of curvature can be found through spherometer or screw gauge. Now, diameter you want. So how do you get diameter for this? So you take the reading of this ring here on left side, reading of this on the right side. So extreme reading on the extreme left and reading on the extreme right, the difference is diameter only, no? Diameter of this ring. Similarly, this reading, difference gives you the diameter. This reading, difference gives you the diameter of this. This reading, difference gives you diameter of this. What the point? So that is how you have to take the calculation. So after taking the left side reading, you are taking the right side corresponding. So corresponding readings you are taking. That means From 21st you are going on, let us say 21st to next reading. Not all the rings, alternative rings or 2 rings thereafter, like that will take. That means 21st, then 18th ring, then 15th ring, then 12th ring, like that we go on taking. That means if you have nth ring, the next reading will be n minus 3. The next reading will be n minus 6. Like that. That means you have taken a reading here. Let us say this is 21st ring. Leave 3 rings, come to the next reading. Again leave 3 rings, come to the next ring. Like that on the left side. Similarly, same procedure will go from this side. So, take successive readings at n minus 3, n minus third ring. Third ring means this is the 18th ring. And n minus 6. N minus 6 means this is the 15th ring, because we are taking n as 21st ring. 21st ring means extreme n, etc. Etc. How we have taken? With a difference of 3 rings. Up to how long we will take? So you will start from here. Let us say 21st ring, then 18th ring, then 15th ring, then 12th ring. Like that we are coming towards this up to central dark spot on the left side. So therefore 3 rings up to the central dark spot. Okay. So we have started, let us say this is the 21st ring. Now from the idea is 21st means from there the visibility is very clear. So from 21st we have taken readings of 21st ring, then 3 rings after 18th ring, 3 rings after 12th ring, like that up to central spot we have come. The same procedure we will go for right also. Right side also we will go. Okay. So after coming to the central dark spot from extreme left, second step is cross the central dark spot. That means you are now moving towards right. Cross the central dark spot in the same direction. That means you started here, moving towards like this. You have come to central dark spot. Again move in the same direction. That means automatically you are coming to the right. That is what it means by saying central dark spot in the same direction. Take readings corresponding to n minus 6th, that means 15th, n minus 3, that is 18th, nth ring, that is 21st ring. Note down. What does it mean? I am again demonstrating with the help of. This is central dark spot, let us say. These are all rings. There may be some more. Let us call this as 21st. So place your crosshair tangentially. Normally crosshair appears like this. So make it tangent. That means it touches the line. So you kept your crosshair here. You have gone to extreme end. This is the 21st end. So here you have taken your reading 21st, 19, 18, 20, 21, 20, 19, 18. Again take 20th, 18th reading. then 15th reading, then 12th reading, then 9th reading. Like that you have come to central dark spot. So let us say this is ninth ring. Now when you come to the other side, this is the other side of the diameter for the same ninth ring. Na? So here, if you see earlier, it started from n minus 3, n minus 6, n minus 9 like that. Now it becomes in the reverse order. So you will start from n minus 9, n minus 6, n minus 3 like this. Now when you are moving here, from here to here, it is n minus 3, n minus 6, n minus 9, n minus 12. Here it is n minus 12, n minus 9, n minus 6, n minus 3. So it comes in the reverse order. Got the point? So you have taken the readings. Now the next step for you is take the difference of readings between left and right readings. So that means you have taken, let us say, 21st ring reading, nth ring. Now you have taken this side reading. Now difference between this and this gives the diameter of this. No? Similarly, difference between this reading and this reading gives the diameter. Difference between this reading and this reading gives the diameter of this reading. Difference between this and this gives the diameter of this reading. Like that, having taken all the readings both on left side and right side, if you calculate the corresponding difference between each of them, that means n minus 3 on the left, n minus 3 on the right, n minus 6 on the left, n minus 6 on the right, n minus 12th on the right, n minus 12th on the left. Like that, if you go on taking readings, the difference between left and right readings gives diameter of a particular ring. So you go on taking the readings and then the difference gives you the diameter of a particular. So with those readings, we will go for plotting a graph. Always remember, whenever an experiment is conducted, readings are noted, we have a habit of drawing a graph. Basically, the reason is very simple. Having drawn a graph and taking average value from the graph will reduce the number of practical errors. The purpose of a graph, always remember, is to reduce various type of aberrations, aberration in calculations, aberration in the experiment, etc., aberration in our observation, aberration in our computations. To avoid all these things and arrive at a more accurate value in any experimental process, plotting a graph is always the best practice. Now, having taken the readings, I am going for plotting a graph. What is graph we mean here? On one side, we have number of rings. On the other side, we have difference of reading which gives the diameter. So we will take the diameter square. So therefore, see the graph. Here I am taking number of rings. Here I am taking square of the diameter. Now you find a straight line passing through the origin. You know why? See, your rings are formed like this. Right? So wherever you take, the diameter is constant, na? So therefore, any ring you take, so you will obtain a graph passing through the origin. Some points may tally, some points may not tally, but majority points try to lie on the same line. So whenever you get a straight line passing through the origin, means values are constant. Now take any two successive values from the graph. So let us take, I am taking an mth ring. This is the nth ring. Mth ring and nth ring. So I call the origin as O. This is y axis. This is x axis. So I will draw a perpendicular on both sides. For this also I will draw perpendicular like this. Now this gives me d square n because it is nth ring. This gives me d square m. Now this difference, if you take, what it gives? It gives d square n minus d square m value will get. Now this difference, if you take horizontal difference, it gives you n minus m value. This gives you n minus m value. This gives you d square n minus d square m. So from the diagram, you can call it as, you just name them if you want. You can call it as a C, you can call it as a D. Okay, you can call it as A, you can call it as B. So if I say AB by CD from the graph, it is nothing but d square n minus d square m divided by n minus m. So d square n minus d square m by n minus m has come from graph. So now using a sperometer, I'm not sure whether you people of your generation have seen a sperometer at all or not, because it's a part of intermediate practicals. Sperometer is a device which helps us to measure the radius of a curvature of a lens. Using a sperometer, measure R, radius of curvature. So you have R, you have d square n minus d square m by n minus m coming from the graph. Now using all these things, substitute these values in your formula. What is the formula? Lambda is equal to d square n by d square m minus d square m divided by 4 into n minus m into r. This is the formula we got in the last expression. So from this, d square n minus d square m by n minus is directly coming from the graph. Here, the only thing unknown there is r. So using a sperometer, we can measure radius of curvature of a curved surface. Sperometer is a device, as I told you, which helps us to measure the radius of curvature of a curved surface. So with sperometer we measure R. With the Newton's rings setup and measuring the diameters through microscope readings, difference gives us the value of, from the plotting the graph help us to get the arrive at the value of d square n minus d square m by n minus m. These two values we will substitute in the given expression to find the wavelength of a given light source. So similarly we can measure the refractive index. So measuring the refractive index of a liquid, and then what are the engineering applications of interference, we shall observe in the next class. Right? Kindly go through and have a revision. Get back with your doubts if any.